If I use the same XPath and if the page gets updated by adding few more elements, this absolute XPath won't work. That's why we won't use this absolute XPath. Okay. Now let us identify few more elements. I want to identify this female radio button. Right click inspect. Imagine that there is no ID and name for this element. Imagine. In that case, I have to identify the XPath. Okay. Starting from here. This is under this HTML page. Under that, it is under this body tag. Under body tag, it is under this table. Under table, it is under this T body, TR, TD, and I have to come to this. Okay. First, let me start with HTML. Any element will start with HTML. Under this HTML slash body. This is common for almost all the elements. Slash body. Always check it should show us one of one always. Under this HTML, I went to this body. Body. Under this body tag. Under this body tag. I need to go to this particular table. I need to go to this particular table. How to go to this table? Slash table. But it shows 5 matching nodes. Out of all the 5, it is highlighting the first one. In this first one, in that highlighted area, is my female radio button is also there? Yes or no? Yes. So that I have to give table of 1. Now it shows 1 of 1. That's why out of all the 5 tables, I need the first one. When I hit enter, it shows 2 of 5. Second one, I don't know the second one. Second one is this Google link. When I hit enter, it shows 3 of 5. The third one, I don't want the third one. When I hit enter, it shows 4 of 5. The fourth one, I don't want the fourth one. When I hit enter, it shows 5 of 5. Fifth one, that is this. I don't want all those. Only 1 of 5. The first one is closely matching to that. First one is closely matching to that. Under this table of 1, I need to go to T body. I need to go to T body. Slash T body. Under T body. Under T body, I need to go to TR. How to go to TR? Slash TR. Under TR, I need to go to this TD. Under TR, I need to go to this particular TD. How to go to TD? Slash TD. But it shows 2 matching nodes. Out of TD, 2 matching nodes. This is the first one and this is the second one. I'm going to take the second one. TD of 2. Under TD of 2, I need to go to this particular input. Finally, I have identified this. Finally, I struggled and I have identified this. Tomorrow, in between these two rows, if they add some more elements, will the same XPath will identify the radio button still, female radio button still? No, no. Because we are traversing towards the path. We are traversing towards the path. If the path gets deviated, then this won't. If the path gets deviated, and this won't. This won't. That's why we won't use this absolute. Each and every element in a web page, each and every element in a web page has a HTML hierarchy, starting from HTML tag to the target element, We are identifying the position of the element. In the HTML hierarchy, which is nothing but absolute XPath. We are identifying the position of the element, position of this element in the HTML hierarchy, which is nothing but absolute XPath. If the position gets changed, of course, this absolute XPath won't work. That's why we won't use this absolute XPath. Okay. Let us see few more drawbacks of this also. Let me give you some notes. Take last line. Identifying the position of the element in the HTML hierarchy is called as absolute XPath. In interviews, take down this. Have you completed this? Take down this Xpath as well. You have to practice these things, guys. Until unless you practice, you will not be able to achieve this. That's why. If you are done, let me know it's done. Have you completed, guys? Still writing this expert. Okay, tell me yes or no. Now, my goal is to identify the single select drop down. How? Right click, inspect. I need to identify this single select drop down. Can you tell me what is the XPath for this? Starting from HTML, I have to come HTML body, HTML slash body. Under this body tag, I need to go to this particular table. But when I put slash table, it shows one. This first one is highlighting the single select drop down? No. When I hit enter, it shows two. Is second one is highlighting? When I hit enter, it shows three of five. Is third one is highlighting single select drop down? No. When I hit enter, it shows four of five. In that fourth highlighted one, is my single select drop down is also there? Yes. So that I have to give table of four. Under table of four, I need to go to this T body. How to go to T body? Slash T body. Under T body, I need to go to TR. How? Slash TR. Under TR, I need to go to TD. Slash TD. Under TD, under TD, I need to go to this. Sorry, but when I go to TR, it shows one. But when I put slash TD, it shows two matching nodes. Out of two, it is highlighting the first one. This first one is highlighting my single select drop down. Yes, so that I have to give TD of one. Under that, I need to go to slash select. Yes, I have identified this single select drop down. Okay, anyhow, I have struggled and I have identified this. Tomorrow, when there is a small structural change in the page, will this XPath will identify the single select drop down? No, no. To overcome that, we will use relative XPath. See how to select the options inside that we'll see later. How to identify the elements, that is what we are seeing now. Take down this quickly into your notes. Okay, fine. Next, let us see one more example about this absolute XPath, then we'll move to relative XPath. My goal is to open this online.actitime.com slash mms slash login dot do. Okay. Now, after opening the browser and URL, let it open. It may take a bit of time. I want to identify this username text box. My goal is to identify this username text box. Right click, inspect. Identify the absolute XPath for this username text box. Okay. Now, starting from HTML tag, type HTML slash body. Under this body tag, I need to go to this particular table. Slash table. Under table, I need to go to this T body. Always check it should show us one matching of T body. Under that, I need to go to slash tr. Under that, I need to go to slash td. Under td slash table. Under table, I need to go to t body. Under t body, I need to go to tr. Under tr, it shows two matching of the first one slash td. Under the td, I need to go to slash div. Under div, I need to go to table. Under table, I need to go to t body. Under t body, I need to go to tr. Under tr, I need to go to the second td. Slash td, it shows for first one and second one. Under the td, I need to go to slash div. Under that, I need to go to table. Under that, I need to go to t body. Under t body, I need to go to tr. Under tr of 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the fifth one. The fifth one is closely matching to that. Fifth. Under that, I need to go to td slash td. Under that, I need to go to table. Table of 1. Under that, I need to go to body. Under T body, I need to go to TR, TR of 1. Under that, I need to go to TD. Under TD, I need to go to table. Under table, I need to go to slash T body. Under T body, I need to go to TR, TR of 1. Under that, I need to go to TD slash input. Finally, I have struggled and I have identified this. Finally, I have struggled and I have identified this. Okay, I have identified this. Tomorrow, when there is a small structural change in the page, will this XPath will identify the, if there is a small structural change in the page, will this XPath will identify the username text box still? No. That's why even after struggling also this won't work out. That's why we won't use this absolute XPath. Absolute XPath can be used for small and static pages. Static pages in the sense the page structure won't change. Will you get those kind of only those kind of pages in real time? Will you get only those kind of pages in real time, guys? No. That's why we won't use this absolute XPath. Absolute XPath can be used for small and static pages. Take down this quickly into your notes. Last line. Absolute XPath can be used for small and static pages. Okay, done. Absolute XPath can be used for small and static pages. That's why you want to take down heading as relative XPath. We are going to start learning about relative XPath. Relative XPath. first under relative XPath using attributes. Out of that, there are different kinds. Out of that, I am going to go to the first one, that is relative XPath using attributes. Attributes, syntax. Take down this. You will not understand what exactly it is. I will make you to understand this slowly. I will make you to understand this slowly. Just take down this into you. If you are done, let me know it's done. Yes. Next. My goal, imagine there is no ID and name for this element. There is no ID and there is no name also for this element. And it is not a link also to identify the link text. In that case, I have to go with XPath. If I use absolute XPath, it is not recommended to use absolute XPath. That's why we have to go with relative XPath. Follow my syntax and tell me what is the absolute XPath for this username text box. Follow my syntax and tell me what is the, sorry, not absolute XPath. What is the relative XPath using attributes? Follow my syntax, double forward slash. What is the HTML tag for this element? What is the HTML tag for this element, guys? This is the source code of that element. No one is answering. Input. Uh, double forward slash input. Okay. Open brace at the rate. What are the attributes this element is having? Type, class, and placeholder. Yes. I can use any attribute. I am going to use type equal to text. Copy this type at the rate attribute. I pass type attribute equal to value that attribute values. Now copy this and paste it here. But it shows two matching nodes. That's why don't use type equal to text. Use some other attribute. What is the other attribute? What I have? Class equal to text field. Let me give this class. Copy this and paste this. It shows class equal to text field. Class equal to, but this also is showing two matching nodes. That's why I am not going to use class. Use some other attribute, that is placeholder equal to username. Copy this and paste this. Yes, finally I have identified this. Now you have to pick a unique attribute and attribute. Sir, what if there is no unique attribute? That we'll see later. As of now, pick unique attribute and attribute value and pass it. Take down this quickly into your notes. Take down this XPath. You can use any attribute and attribute value. That's not a problem at all. Are you able to understand everyone? Yes. Many of them are not. Let's quickly reconnect the meeting once. Reconnect with the same meeting link again. Mhm. What about two more? One more. Okay, fine. Now I can use any attribute and attribute value. I can use any attribute and attribute value as well. See here. Uh, I had used placeholder. Sir, if I have name, can I use name also? Yes, you can use. No doubt in that. Whichever the attribute and attribute value, you can use it. But okay, name equal to username. I can use name also. Copy this. Which was one matching. So of course you can go with it. Or else you can use I. Whichever the attribute and attribute value you want, you can use it. That's not a problem at all. But finally it should show us. But normally if you have ID or name or something, you will use that itself and you will start performing action. But most of the automation engineers, what they do by using name also, they will try to use only XPath. They will try to use only XPath because they don't know about the other element locators. They know only one element locator, that is XPath. However you want, you can use it. That's not a problem at all. But final goal, it should show us one matching. That's the thing. Understood the relative XPath using attribute, everyone? Yes. How can we get this syntax? That we'll see in the next in the upcoming session. Take down this XPath quickly. If you are done, let me know. It's done. We'll move to the next step. Next. My goal is to identify this username text box. My goal is to identify this username text box. Right click, inspect. My goal is to identify this username text box. Can you tell me what is the XPath to identify this username text box? This is the source code. And follow my syntax and tell me what is the absolute, sorry, relative XPath using attributes. Double forward slash input open brace at the rate. Yes, ID equal to uname. I can give type equal to text also, but if there are many text boxes in the page, it will identify those. I do not all the text box. I want only this particular text box. That's why I'm giving ID equal to uname. Understood, everyone? Yes. Take down this. Yes. I can use any attribute and attribute value. Right click and inspect. My goal is to identify this checkbox. Can you tell me what is the export to identify this particular checkbox? Double forward slash input ID equal to REP. Yes. Take down this. Yes. Now my goal is to identify this Google link. Can you tell me what is the export to identify this Google link? A, open brace, at the rate. Class equal to my class. If class is showing two matching nodes, then go with href attribute also, whichever you want. But class itself is showing one matching node. That's why I can go with this. Understood? Yes, take down this. See, this export topic is a quite difficult topic out of all the topics in Selenium, but if you understand this, it will be easy for you to identify the elements. Without understanding this also, you will understand the upcoming topics once we finish with the export. But this is must and necessary topic. Yes, next. I want to identify the I want to identify this um, username text box. In the previous session, in yesterday's session, we have learned about single forward slash. Single forward slash is used to move from parent tag to child tag. Okay. Now, I want to identify this username text box. Double forward slash input. It shows 7 matching nodes. It identifies all the input tags in this page. Double forward slash select identifies all the select drop downs in this page. Double forward slash img identifies all the img tags in this page. Double forward slash input identifies all the input tags in this page. Double forward slash select A identifies all the A tags. Double forward slash table identifies all the 5 tables. Double forward slash input identifies all the input tags. Are you understanding the purpose of double forward slash here, everyone? Double forward slash used in the beginning of the expression, used in the beginning of the expression, followed by the HTML tag, followed by the HTML tag, searches that particular HTML tag in the entire HTML page. See, single forward slash is used to move from parent tag to child tag. Very, very important interview question. What is the purpose of single forward slash and double forward slash? Most of them they will answer as single forward slash is absolute XPath, sir. That's wrong answer. Don't give that. Single forward slash is used to move from parent tag to child tag. Okay, you have to give that answer. By using that, we will identify the absolute XPath. Okay. Double forward slash used in the beginning of the expression, followed by the HTML tag, searches that particular HTML tag in the entire HTML page. Relative XPath. Double forward slash used in the beginning of the expression, followed by the HTML tag, searches that particular HTML tag in the entire HTML page. Take down this quickly. If you are done, let me know what's done. What about others? Okay. See, double forward slash input identifies all the input tags. But I don't want all the input tags. I want only the input tag which has ID equal to uname, square brace. Square brace is for filter. Square brace is for filter. Filter only the input tag. Filter only the input tag which has id equal to uname, which has id equal to uname. Inside the open brace and close brace, I'm going to filter. Since I'm going to use attributes, I'm going to use at the rate id equal to uname. Yes, id equal to uname. id equal to uname. id equal to uname. Close brace at the rate id equal to uname. Yes. Square. Now, I hope you guys have understood this syntax also, how double forward slash HTML. It will identify that particular HTML. Inside the square brace, I am using this filter. Hope everyone have understood this syntax also, right? Yes. Now, without having the syntax, you have to tell me the relative XPath using attributes for the single select dropdown. Can you tell me what is the XPath to identify the single select dropdown? This is the source code of that. Sorry. This is the source code of that. Can you tell me what is the XPath for this? Double forward slash select. It identifies all the select dropdowns. Open brace and close brace. Since I'm using going to use attributes at the rate id equal to city. Yes, that's it. This is the XPath for that. Take down this. I'll quickly give you 2 minutes of time. Revise these things. I'm going to ask you the questions in this topic now. Only 2 minutes I'll give. Just revise this relative XPath now. Yes. Now, my goal is to identify this female radio button. Can you tell me how? What is the XPath to identify this female radio button? Double forward slash input open brace at the rate. Can't I use name equal to gender? It shows two matching nodes. Yes, very good. That's why it is better to use ID. Sometimes in real time when I'm working, if I am using ID also, it might show two matching nodes. If I use ID also, it might show two matching nodes. If I use name also, it might show two matching nodes because IDs might be duplicated for some other elements. If I use both name and ID, it might show one matching node. In that case, sir, is there a possibility to use more than one attribute? Yes, there is a possibility. And at the rate id equal to female, I can use both name and id. Yes, I can use. This is all about male and female. Sorry, this that is why they call this as relative XPath using attributes, not attribute. I can use more than one attribute also. I can use and one more also, three, four, five attributes also I can use it. Understood? Yes. Take down this. Take down this export. Now, imagine that there is no ID attribute for this female radio button. There is no ID attribute. There is only name and name attribute and type attribute. That's why it is showing us two matching nodes. Is it possible to identify only the female radio button in that case? Is it possible to identify only the female radio button in that case? Yes or no, guys? There is only type attribute and name attribute. If I use both also, it might show two matching nodes. In that case also, you cannot tell no that I cannot identify. You have to use some techniques. What you have to do, put it into make it into an object. Put it into an object. There are two objects, male and second one is female. Male and female. Make it as an object. Object in the sense, put it in a normal brace. There are two objects. One of two. The first one is male. I don't want the male. When I hit enter second, second one is female. Yes. Now it shows us one matching. One matching. That is female. But tomorrow, the first one is male and second one is female. Tomorrow, in between this male and female radio button, if they add one more radio button called male, cross gender, female, like that male, others or female, something, if they add some more radio button, will the same XPath will identify the female radio button still? No. It will go for the newly. This is a kind of absolute XPath. First try with one attribute. If not, try with multiple attributes. If not, finally use this objecting concept. Objecting concept should be used in worst case scenarios if there is no other possibility. Understood, everyone? Yes. Take down this quickly into your notes. That's it all about relative XPath using attributes. That's it all about relative XPath using attributes. Make it quick, quick. If you are done, let me know it's done. Only one girl. What about others? Okay. Out of all the 8 element locators, ID, name, link text, XPath, CSS selector, class name, tag name, and partial link text, most probably we will use XPath. That too, we will never use absolute XPath at all. We will use relative XPath. That too, we will use relative XPath using attributes only most of the times. We will use relative XPath using attributes only most of the times. But if we find any elements with some text, if we find any elements with some text, we will go with text function. If we find any elements with some text, we will go with text function. If we find any elements with some text, we will go with text function. For example, this Google link is having some text. Sir, how can I come to know that whether it is having some text? Blindly by seeing the element, don't conclude yourself. What you have to do, first you have to do right click and inspect. See the source code. If there is a proper opening tag and proper closing tag, and in between if you have some text, In that case, I can go with text function. This element can be identified by using attributes also, but it is preferred to go with text. It is preferred to go with text if that element has some text. It is preferred to go with text if that element has some text. Okay. It is preferred to go with text if that element has some text. Now, can I identify this? Please identify yourself by using text function. Does this element has some text? Right click, inspect, see the source code. There is a proper opening TD tag, proper closing TD tag, and in between there is some text. In that case, I can go with text function. Yes. Can I identify this login button by using text function? Does this element have some text? Yeah, tell me. Yes, tell me that. Right click and inspect. Can I identify this element by using text function? Yes. There is a proper opening div, proper closing div, and in between there is some text. I can go with text function. Can I identify this login button by using text function? Does this element has text? Right click and inspect. Tell that. Yes, very good. There is a proper opening input, but there is no proper closing input and there is no text in between. In that case, I cannot use text function. If that element has some text, then only I can go with text function. Are you understanding this? Yes. Now, let us move to the second heading, that is relative XPath using text function. Text function. Text function. Equal to value. Okay. Have you completed taking down this? Now I want to identify this Google link. Right click, inspect. Can you tell me what is the export to identify this Google link by using text function? Yes. Copy this and paste this. Yes. This is the export for that. This is the export for that. Yes. What? Value. It should be exactly small letters, capital letters, spaces, spelling, special characters, everything you have to give exactly. Then only it will identify. Understood? One who is asking Siddhartha or Siddheshwar, I don't know. Have you understood this? Okay, Siddharth. Siddheshwar, mute your microphone, please. Okay. See, this element can be identified by using attributes also, but first preference give for text function always. Second preference only you have to give for attributes. If that the element doesn't have text, then go with attributes. Okay, I am going to give you two homeworks. Note down the homeworks. First, open the browser, open the URL called online.activetime.com/mms/login.do. Open this website and open this URL and identify the relative XPath using text function. Relative XPath using text function. For this, please identify yourself. That is one homework. Relative XPath using text function and identify this, please identify yourself. Next, second homework. Identify the relative XPath using text function to identify this login button. These two are your homework. See, this XPath topic is very, very important, guys. That's why I'm going very slowly. Okay, because in interviews, there will not be any interviews without this question or XPath questions. At least two interview questions you can expect in this XPath topic when you go for Selenium interviews. That's why I'm pushing you again and again, telling you to practice. Unless you practice, you cannot become familiar on this. And if you have any doubts also, you can reach out to me and I will help you to sort out those doubts also as well. That's it all about our today's session. Let me stop.